So actually, thanks for joining us. Why don't you tell us a wee bit about your journey to the Colts? How did you get there?
Yeah, no problem. So I know Scott, the head coach, from back when we were a bit younger, and we went to a Premiership game, and he was chatting, maybe looking at getting an extra team. He said he liked how I came across. It's not really something that I'd thought about. So in maybe July 2018, decided to come along, see what it was like. Got a bit involved with the 2007 team, just drills and things like that. And then the 2019 was created, and I helped alongside another coach at that time. Again, not really something that I thought about, so still kind of learning the role. And then we had a couple of people leave, and here we are.
Yeah, two years later. That's
2 years later, yeah.
And how have you found those 2 years?
Yeah, it's been really good. As I say, coming from no experience in coaching, it has been quite a big learning curve, especially dealing with different types of kids. We are essentially a development club, so we have such a vast level of kids, so that has definitely been an experience.
So obviously you mentioned that you didn't really have a football background, but I think you've had a background in working with kids in the past through the Girls Brigade, am I right in saying?
Yeah, that's right. So I started Girls Brigade when I was about 5, just kind of worked my way up, and I'm an officer now. So yeah, I did have previous experience working with younger kids. So the kids that I work with are a bit older, like high school age.
Yeah. And I think that's great, and obviously, as you say, you've been here for 2 years. I mean, coming into the Colts and not having that kind of experience, what was that like for you? How did you find the kind of transition into the team and working with people like Scott and Kevin Thompson, etc.? How did you find that?
Yeah, so initially it was a bit daunting, but Scott's been great with me, really encouraged me to go get my badges. I don't know, just kind of be myself, not really overthink. I feel that especially with being a girl in football, I think that is something that's probably a difficulty, just overthinking, am I good enough, is this right, etc. But no, as I say, Scott's been fantastic with me, and probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Scott. So yeah, I'm thankful.
And it's kind of interesting you mentioned that about being a girl in football and obviously working with mostly boys, but we do have a lot of girls, which is important for so many of us. How important is that? I think that we do, we're open to lots of people from different backgrounds playing in the team.
Yeah, I think it's massive. I mean, when you look at how close the Scotland women's team got recently with the World Cup success, and I think just talking a bit about Shelley Kerr, I think she's been really inspirational for a lot of younger kids. I don't necessarily think just girls, like boys as well, because I think back in the day, football was, you need to be tough, and it's not a place for girls or maybe slightly shyer boys, for example. But no, I think the impact that she's had, it has just shown it is about developing and bringing kids on, trying to encourage them. I mean, they're not all going to go on to be a Messi or Ronaldo, but it's a building block for their future. It gives them a ground and a better person. So yeah, I think it is massive, not just girls, but different types of backgrounds.
We've obviously been talking there about being into football and girls football and so on, but for you, what's your background? Why were you interested in football growing up?
So I did want to play. I spent a lot of time in primary watching the boys, but it wasn't really something that I pushed for. I was quite shy at school, so I didn't really play with a team. It was more just a kickabout with my friends, but it was mainly my dad just kind of encouraged me when the football was on, asking questions. So I would say he's like the kind of inspiration.
Yeah, I think that's nice, and I think that's good. He was quite encouraging as well, and that's probably why you're like that too with the kids, and you help them out. So obviously, in recent weeks, after what was quite a long pause, we've been back at football, back at training. You've been back with the kids.
Yep.
How have you found that?
Yeah, it's been different, because I feel like I like to be kind of hands-on. Maybe stopping training and taking a kid aside and saying, what could you have done different, maybe throwing the question back to them, but don't really get the opportunity to do that. I mean, I think the most important thing for the 2009 group is getting them game time, so that is what we have mainly been doing since we've been back, but I'm looking forward to the games starting.
Yeah, and it's just
I
good
hope
having the
it's
kids
soon.
back and
No,
enjoying
definitely,
themselves.
definitely. I mean, that's something that I'm very conscious of. I don't want to be harsh on the kids. You want them to make mistakes. Yeah, that it helps them grow, I guess.
Yeah. And I guess for you then, obviously we're coming back. We're hopefully, as we say, it's kind of all dependent on a lot of other factors. But
Yeah.
we're kind of looking ahead. What is it you're kind of hoping to get out this season that's coming up?
So we are hopefully going to transition into the Nina side. So I think that'll be massive for us. It'll mean a few more of the kids getting involved. Did struggle with that last season with too many kids, and it wasn't ideal trying to share out the game time. So I'm looking forward to that. Also looking at things a bit more positionally. Just try and get the kids a bit more disciplined, their awareness on the pitch. I think it's about trying to remind them as well that yeah, you're working on your own, but it is a team game. Just maybe thinking about, if I do that, what does someone else need to do, kind of thing. But no, I think that'll come. They are still young.